views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody, super duper welcome. Hey, it's great to have all of you tuning us in, turning us on, but today's show is really all about sheer alchemy. I love it. I love that. I love that. Sheer alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne. Why? Because, I don't know about you guys out there, but have you ever thought that magic and miracles were for other people? You ever thought maybe you had to be born 2,000 plus years ago in order to experience the healing? Well, why is it, though? We hear about people changing, shifting, transforming, and we think, oh, you're so special. You're so special. You are only you. You're the one that can make the change. Well, I think Leslie's got a few things to say about that because, is it hit or miss? Is the conversation with Source hit or miss? Is this something where we get to think, oh, maybe my karma really sucks in this lifetime and I have to wait for the next one to get it all going? Well, I don't know that I believe that. And so today, Leslie's going to be talking with us about what happens when we co-create with Source. What does it even look like? What does co-creating with Source look like? Do you have to be divinely appointed to be the Dalai Lama or Mother Teresa or some other person you think, that has made a difference in the world? Or are you the only person that's not on the Oprah show? Well, today it's not about that or anything else, or maybe it's all about that. So we're thrilled. Leslie is a transformation catalyst. She's been my co-host for a number of these amazing shows. What she brings into the conversation is beyond explainable. It is a divine source that joins her as she walks through this life. Not at moments of only downtime or times when life is rough or life is good. But today you're going to talk with her about how these ascended masters, archangels, how these conversations can happen for each and every one of you, because that's what she does. She speaks all over the country, all over the world. She works with clients all over the world. Now we can do that quite easily, by the way. And we can actually see people. We can see people in other countries. That is amazing, isn't it? But what has that got to do with any of us changing, shifting? So do we have this fear? What is it that causes loneliness and depression to be at the top of the scale for what's going on with people? Today, we're going to find out about that and much more. Leslie, good to have you here.
So great to be here with you. Good to see you.
I got a gift for you.
Oh, goody.
What do you want? Do you want dark chocolate with almond and sea salt or pretzels with sea salt?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know right now.
I'll let you think about that. Benny, you have to think about it, too.
No, she gets priority, and then I'll get leftovers. That's how it works.
I got a bunch of them here.
Oh, all right.
All right, good. But, in celebration of our spring.
Yes.
Yes.
Some of us are coming out of the thaw. Some of us haven't been in a thaw. It's all relative, right? If you're living in Thailand, you haven't heard the conversation at all because you don't care.
Yes. But many of us don't have to live in Thailand to not hear the conversation and not care. We got some folks right in our own backyard. Don't you think?
I know.
I don't know. I don't know about you. I just don't want to keep going through life to have to be hit by a 2x4 to realize that there's something more than my own mind.
I love you saying the 2x4. I work with so many clients who have these so-called bad things, and I'm putting the word bad in quotes because we honestly sometimes don't have a good evaluator of what bad is. We think that something is not feeling good. We think that we've been fired. We think that we've, had some loss in our lives, and there is some value to that makes it bad. And so much of our evaluation comes from culture, comes from our family history, comes from what other people think, also from our shame. We're embarrassed, when certain things happen to us. And so we're so in a hurry to go get the next job before we even think, before we even ponder. We're so anxious to fill the hole that got emptied by someone else before we evaluate, instead of what you were just saying, which is to take a look at this 2x4, to take a look at this moment and go, what is this really about? Can I shift into something else? And this so ties into the fact that we create alone, and even the messaging about being alone is so horrific.
Well, it used to be where you could be alone and be alone. Now, because of the way we're plugged into every digital form of anything, it's hard these days to even go to a website without some ad popping up about something that they think you need to know about. But, every time you turn around, there's somebody telling you that the life you had, the moments alone you have, is not enough. It's not enough. You're not enough. And so you start to feel like you're not just alone, but now you're lonely.
Right.
Now you're lonely.
Right.
And this pill potion lotion can make you better, or that online what site.
Right. Exactly. So here you are. This is your day to step into the creation that has been in your energy field for a while. Okay? You didn't just have this idea. For many of you, you've had a desire, a passion for a while. You've put it away. You've put the lid on it. You've told yourself you don't have time, you don't have any support, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to turn the tables on you and say that you create the time and you create the support, and you have to support yourself first. So the very first decision is, do I support myself? Do I choose to do that? Now, this would seem so on the surface easy to answer. Why is it not easy? It's not easy because there are consequences every time we put ourselves first. Forget the lessons, and we'll talk later about why, we've learned that we're not as important as we really are, because I'm going to tell you today, every one of us is so special. We're here on purpose. We're listening today on purpose, and it's to create something spectacular. And yes, you do have the ability and the options. But here you are in this moment with your dream. What is your choice? What is your desire, and why would you not do it? It's owning it. When we create something in this world, if you're in the United States of America, and if you're in a lot of countries, we have success tied to, well, are you going to make any money from it? Or if you invested all this time, what are you going to get for it? There's no sense of how long it takes to create anything wonderful. I want to tell a really quick story of a friend of mine. This was back in the 6th grade, and I remember her making these posters, and she was an artist. And then I remember her doing it in the 9th grade. And we used to look at her going, do you have no sense of time? I mean, she would take forever with these creations and designs. Do you know that she's an artist today? Have you ever watched a jewelry maker? They're not going, oh my gosh, I've got to make this piece in 30 minutes. They're applying a creative process. So they're not thinking about, well, how many dollars will I get for the time that I just involved in this whole process of creation? So take a look at what you're doing and the things that you love. And the very next question you ask yourself, which is, well, what am I going to get for it? Well, what will so-and-so say? Well, if I invest all this time and I don't make any money, it must not be worth it. Think about all the messaging that's coming to you. But first, get back in touch with that passion.
For those of us that have taken a pathway, which is so not what anybody looks at as a career, and there are several of us here that do this and have been doing it for a while. We've had all those questions. But usually they come from the people we're in relationships with, or the people that are wondering, what the heck is she doing? How in the world are you deciding to do what you're doing? And then we go out and we hire experts. They're going to tell us how to charge more, earn more, be more, do more.
And they're not aligned with us. And that is another segment of this convo.
Well, they don't even understand what alignment with us even means.
Right.
Because, isn't it interesting that there's a feeling of it? Someone once asked me, what does that even feel like? I made a comment that, my goal in life is my perfect alignment with God, with my higher power, with source energy. That was my goal in life. And they say, how do you know when you're there? How are you going to know when you're there? Mm-hmm. And what I realized is, as I was fumbling for words to try to explain it, I don't know the words.
Well, and we are there because the creations happen in the moment that we have it. So what's the delay? We can talk about that too. But the delay is, well, how am I going to do it? How? If that's what's coming up for you, then you definitely need to call in.
Yeah. 1-800-930-2819. Tell folks what we're going to help them out with today. Because I could feel a little helping need in energy right there. 1-800-930-2819. We have opened up the phone lines. Leslie is going to take your call. Going to do some clearing, folks. If you're tired of dragging around the sludge, somebody said to me, oh, my God, Pat, you walked into the room, I saw 7 caskets attached to you. That was me a while ago. And what did that feel like? Exactly like I said. If you want to get rid of some of this stuff, Leslie's created a fabulous show today. Stay tuned, folks. We're going to take a shorty. We'll be right back with Sheer Alchemy.
Only you can make all this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone.
Wondering how to play the game of life and actually win? Stop wondering and start winning the game of life with the unique, incomparable Lynn Brown. Lynn's powerful, transferable tools stem from her success in the very competitive world of sports and business.
Since Lynn was one of the top athletes in the United States, she understands really well about the athlete's mind, their challenges, and what athletes need. I have confidence to ask Lynn to take care of my professional team just because of Lynn, her passion, and the power she has.
Lynn is passionate about working with kids and with athletes. Her life is a testament to the incredible power of intention to create miracles. Lynn is dedicated to assisting and inspiring leaders with the vision and tools to realize their dreams.
And she wants to help you next. Enhance your overall performance and the ability to reach your goals. Bring your game face on. Visit letter R, letter U, intuit.com or call 844 letter B, Intuit.
What does a Dentist of the Year get? A little plaque. Welcome to Smile Big, where we offer cosmetic, restorative, and preventative dentistry. Dr. James Rosenwald and Dr. Susan Abdenur work hard every day for their clients to be happy to smile with the latest equipment for complete smile restoration for anyone. The sooner you call, the sooner they can help. Call 425-454-4040 or email scheduling@smilebig.com. You can even visit our website at smilebig.com.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
Artie Hoffman is the hottest psychic with the warmest heart and the host of the hit show Angels and Answers. A renowned psychic, medium, spiritual life coach, and an entertaining motivational speaker, Artie has helped over 15,000 people with his amazing intuitive gifts, his passion, and his humor. Call 877-ANGEL-02 to schedule a personal reading or to have your own psychic Artie party. That's 877-ANGEL-02. And visit artiehoffman.com and Angels and Answers on Facebook.
You gotta do that. Oh my gosh. How many times have I done that? Oh. You know, I love being in love, but boy, I'll tell you, that only you thing, it's the loneliest place I think you could go. I don't know, Leslie. What do you think about that?
Oh, well, I'm in another dimension on that one. I'm just going to have to tell you, that's another show all to itself.
I can't wait for that.
None of us have a hole that needs to be filled.
Oh,
if
you
we
mean you
want
don't
to
complete
do something
me?
Else. No, you do not fill my hole. So anyway, let's talk about what we're going to do. You were talking about that in the break.
Yep.
So for anyone that's calling in, what we're going to do is we're going to get to that vision that you've had for a while. There's some burdens that you have put on top of the vision to allow yourself to think you cannot, quote, do it. I'm talking about an energetic shift first. And often I ask you, do you want it? Is this a decision that you are willing to step into? I haven't asked you to do anything yet. You haven't taken any action, but that often is where the weights, where the burdens, where the contracts come from. We're going to bring in masters. We're going to shift that. We're going to do as much as you're willing to serve up today. Some of us have been holding on to loyalties and attachments way too long, and we wonder why we're miserable. And in each moment, when we ask ourselves, do we want this to shift, that often surfaces some of the core wounds that hold us back, okay? You're bringing this stuff up on purpose. You're bringing this stuff up because it's good for you, it's good for your family, it's good for all of those around you to step into all that you are. That's why you're here. You're here on purpose. So sometimes when we get the 2x4, as Pat would put it, it's to get our attention and go, again? Really? Come on. Let's make this thing happen this time. Why? Because as you shift, you're a benefit to the planet.
And, you know, I want to say, for those of you out there that want to get some help today with Leslie and get some of these 2x4s removed or get whatever that is that's blocking your way to the divine information that's already available, we've opened up the phone lines, 1-800-930-2819. And, you know, if you're anything like me and you've kind of you walk into a room and somebody says to you, a woman that does, somebody, oh, my God, you know, you got 7 coffins attached to you. You're like, what? And then you realize you probably do. Mm-hmm. Mr. Benny.
Yes?
It's only you.
Oh, thank you.
And now it's only our caller.
It is, and it's a she, and Marie is calling in from Seattle. So, Marie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Marie.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Leslie.
Hey,
you know,
of course.
I just feel like I'm walking around and that everything is really hard.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I don't want it to be hard.
Yeah, I could feel that. So there's a lot in your throat space, too, going on. So what's all the oppression about all around you? What's the heaviness? What's going on in your living space there?
You know, I really want, my desire is to just live an easy, charmed life.
You are so alone in that.
I just think, but well, yeah, that's my desire, and I don't know why I haven't gotten it.
Okay, so I'm going to guess that right now, if I asked you to articulate your heart's desire, other than I want an easy, charmed life, because that gives me what? What does that deliver to you? What's the platform for?
Mm-hmm, it gives me security.
What is security? I don't know what that means.
Security, financial security, and freedom to live.
Okay, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Okay. To provide for my daughter and myself.
Okay.
To pay my bills easily and on time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To not worry so much.
Okay. All righty. That's good. So security is the ability to create your own abundance, to draw that into you, to listen to what's coming to you in terms of some of the guidance. Because I'm getting a lot of disempowered feeling, and you're not alone in that one either, because that's really a lot of what I'm called to do is help people step into their own power, step into the understanding that they can create their own security. And sometimes when the answers come, and the sense I get, Marie, is that you get a lot of answers for yourself. The next, very within the millisecond question is, well, how am I going to do that? Well, that's not possible, et cetera, et cetera. So tell me what's come to you in some of the inspired thoughts that you've had, let's say, over the last year.
Inspired?
Well, I call them inspired because that's what intuitive guidance is, okay? When we're kind of getting the idea, the thing that we want to create, all right? Because we're not all here to lie around and do nothing, okay? Even if we want a charmed life, even if we want to be cared for, we're really here to do a lot of work. And so tell me what some of the thoughts or actions have come to you over the last year. And I'm not judging any of this or any, just... You are not a blank slate, okay? It's not like nothing's come to you. Would you agree?
Right. No. And, I guess the one thing that I want to do is I want to provide service that blesses others. Mm-hmm. And in turn, I receive that blessing. That sounds kind of generic, but that's kind of my... That's my desire.
Well, you know what? What you've articulated is the truth for, I would say, 90% of us that are called to this kind of energy work, okay? That is our overriding desire, and you're right. And I'm so glad you said it the way you did, that it sounds general, and it sounds like, well, how do I put legs on this? What does it look like? Mm-hmm. Many of us are waiting for that big special event, that big special job that says, okay, now I can deliver service. Now I can provide healing. Now I can provide blessings. It's interesting. I was at a building yesterday where there was a security guy, and he made it his point. He was such a blessing. His eyes were sparkling, and he made a point to greet every single person on the escalator, every single person walking through this hallway. And you could tell that he had made a decision and a commitment that he would be that light, he would be that blessing in that building. What happens the way Source works is we make that decision like you've had, and then the doors begin to open. We already do it. We already share it. But what I want you to look at, and because I'm getting so much in your solar plexus, so much in your heart space and throat space, that you need to articulate more who you are. So right now, Marie, you already are a blessing. You already are abundant. And I was talking earlier about how energy is slower as it comes into the physical. So I want to get in touch with the ideas that have come to you up till now. Have you had any thoughts or ideas of what to step into? You could have dismissed it. That's fine. But anything that's shown up for you?
Well, I do this work, and yet I have to say, often I don't feel appreciated for it. And I also don't make money for it, not enough money for it. So I'm not sure if I need to...
You are so sweet. You are so great. So first of all, your heart space, lots of core wounds in there. And I want to say something here, just especially for you and everyone else. There is no way that I can do the kind of healing work on this call, on the radio in 5 minutes for something as profound as what you're surfacing, okay? So I want you to know that I totally respect what you're sharing. And what you're sharing is so common among so many people as gifted as you are, who carry this light, who carry this talent, this ability to bring healing to a lot of people, and they're very oppressed, like you said, with the energies. So right now what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring in the masters, and then I'd also like you to call me later or write me later, okay, and we can talk a little more about this. But right now I'm going to go ahead and bring this in right now, bringing in the masters and the archangels. We're going into some of the core wounds in your heart and also your solar plexus, where you've just been so devalued by a lot of family lessons, our ancestral line lessons, and I just want you to see yourself releasing the messaging about your value. Just really allow yourself to go in. Your heart space is really holding on tight. And the reason it's holding on tight is there's an empty space that's going to occur as a result of letting go of this. And again, we get scared of that. We just allow it to come in. We're just bringing in, I'm going to bring in Master Jesus right now into your heart space. Bring in Kuan Yin. We're going to clear out some of the toxic patterns. And we're just going to close off your aura right now to all but your higher self and to those beings of the highest vibration that are with you at the choice of your soul. And we're drawing in the inspired ideas, the inspired thoughts. Your heart space is starting to open up. I really want you after this to notice some of the thoughts and the ideas that come to you. They're going to be seemingly negative, and there's also going to be some positive ones. And I'd like to talk to you about this later, about what comes up for you, because these are old agreements about who you are. And you're very high in stature, Marie. You're very high in stature, and you're a blessing. So do contact me later, and we can do some work on this. But I'm so grateful that you presented this.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break. Leslie, before we do, tell folks how they can find out more about you. And we have opened up the phone lines for those of you that would like to get some assistance or get some help. Because I know what it's like to feel like that. I really do. To have you think that your dream, your vision, which was actually given to you from Source, is a lie. And, then to find the evidence that would convince you of the lie. And, this is what Leslie does so well. Helps us remove those lies. I call them lies, my language. Those things that we would believe that are not the truth of us, our lives, or our vision. And those are the things we cannot see necessarily ourselves. At least I can't. 1-800-930-2819. Leslie, tell folks how they can find out more about you.
Well, first of all, you can go to my website, which is LesliFonteyne.com, Leslie Fonteyne. And you can look on the Transformation Talk Radio site for the correct spelling of my name if you get confused, FONTEYNE.com. You can write me. You can call me. I always answer. I really consider what I do to be world service work. And so it's an honor and a privilege to work with anyone to help them with their vibration, to help them with the wounds, to help them with all that's going on. I do sessions with people that are obviously much more extended than what we can do on the radio. So I'm very thrilled that you all would reach out. But let's talk later. And then I also have some CDs and products that will allow you to continually shift and release some of these core wounds, attachments, implants, all kinds of things that get in our way that keep us from stepping into all that we are.
All right, everyone, let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at, what is it in our lives? What is that thing that we so long for? That hunger, that desire that we keep seeking day after day, hour after hour, year after year, which turns into decade, only as if we're chasing something on a wheel and cannot get it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rush until life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why. Don't know why.
Hi, I'm Leslie Fonteyne with Sheer Alchemy on Transformation Talk Radio, and here's your tip of the day. When we come from a place of need, we're really coming from fear that we won't have or get something dear to us. The irony is that we already are living without it. When we step into our authenticity, that's when we realize we don't have it anyway. So just the honesty of it is painful. But now, shift into the place where you know it's coming, know it's there for you, and know it's part of your reality in the universe right now. Yes, there may be some tightness you feel in your field, but stay with it. That's just anxiety that it might not happen, and you're just getting your hopes up. Really? Whose voice is that? Learn more about how to be strong as you bravely step into your authentic living that is loaded with abundance. Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne and go to my website at LeslieFonteyne.com.
Join the Pacific Northwest EFT Tappers at the 5th Annual Tappers Gathering, March 14th at Bastyr University, and have a chance to meet EFT founder Gary Craig. This event raises money for continuing EFT tapping scientific research. Bring your cards and information for a full day of networking and inspiration. Visit www.nwtappersgathering.com or call 360-661-6877.
If you're one of the millions of Americans suffering from anxiety, you probably know how powerless and out of control this emotion can make you feel. This is why it is so important to remember that anxiety is created by your mind, which means that you can learn to use your mind to uncreate it. Hello, my name is Dr. Friedman Schaub. My award-winning book, The Fear and Anxiety Solution, provides you with a step-by-step breakthrough process to understand and resolve the root causes of your anxiety and build a solid foundation of confidence and inner peace. If you're ready to take your power back, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com. That's thefearandanxietysolution.com, or call 866-903-6463. That's 866-903-MIND.
I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rush till life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why.
I love Leslie's choices of songs.
She's on it.
Yeah, there we go. And she was singing and rocking to it right here.
Oh,
yeah. Part of this is remembering that we really can have fun, too. We can go on a life's journey and have fun, too. It's hard to have fun, though, when we're bogged down by those weights of whatever that is getting in the way of our fun. I hate that when that happens, when stuff gets in the way of my fun. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff gets in the way. You know what that's like? It's like going to a movie theater that's full, because it's like a box office smash thing. Going to the movie theater, getting there late, there only being 3 seats left, and the guy in front of you is 6'8". That's what that's like for me. Your favorite movie, you're sitting in the movie theater, you're probably not in the seat you want to be in, because guess what? You got there late, and the only seat that's available is sitting behind a guy that's 6'8", who's sitting next to his wife that's got big hair from the 80s. Now, would I let that steal my fun?
That's an excellent thing, because, one thing that's really important right now is for people to know that in this moment, regardless of your circumstances, and this is not new. I often bring up Viktor Frankl being in a concentration camp and the books he lost and that were destroyed, and what he realized standing in front of those Nazi officers, that no one could take away from him what he thought. No one could take his thoughts from him. I want you to understand that maybe your circumstances are dire, but his certainly were extremely dire. And he knew that. You know that. And so whatever excuse you're making right now, and this is not to slam you, but I'm always very much about being honest, because we cannot clear and we cannot shift what we are not honest about. But you have the opportunity to clear out any of this attachment to depression that keeps you from inaction, any attachment to irresponsibility so that you can blame others for what you're not accomplishing and what you're not doing, any attachment you have to playing small so that you don't have to fail in public or step out on a dream and have someone humiliate and shame you so that you can then clear all that shaming energy out of your field. I'm telling you, all of this is on purpose. You may not be able to make a full living off the energy work that you're doing, and you want to be a blessing, but just like that security man that I was telling you about in that building that had made a conscious choice about his energy and who he was in that place, that not only does he have that job, he's taken it as an honor and a privilege to spread blessings to everyone that passes him by. He knew their names. I've met many people like that. So whether you're in a corporate office building, whether you're in sales, whether you are flipping burgers at a fast food joint, whether you are serving coffee as a barista and are given people's names so that you can interact with them, and this is your opportunity to trade joy. This is where you begin now, and you are in joy now. So going into your heart space, there's a lot of you listening right now. You're very tight in your heart, and you're so worried you're making a mistake. You're not doing the right thing. You're not in the right job. Stop. Source is not judging you like your father, like your family, like your bosses. Source isn't looking at you going, well, did you make enough money yet? Well, how are you going to make money from that? I remember I loved to write, and every time I turned around, someone would say, are you published yet? As if somehow that was the ultimate value of what I did and what I created. You are creating something so great, and it may be for self-discovery. It may be because these are words you share later on the radio. It may be because these are things that you are creating within you for the next step. Do not stop what comes to you, what gets inspired. So I ask you so often, and you hear me do this all the time, what is the inspired thought? What is the inspired action that's come to you? Because you know the next thought was to cut it off, to explain why you couldn't do it, to explain why you couldn't step into it. So listen to what the inspired thoughts are. Don't ignore them. Yeah, you can create on the other side of the balance sheet all the naysayers, all the negative statements, everything that came to you about why it's not possible. Fine. If you need to write it down, go ahead. But I want you to write down and pay attention to every glorious thought that has come to you in the last 20 years. Pay attention. What has been the theme of it? Step into it. Step into it with your energy right now. Step into all that you are right now without necessarily moving physically. Step into it fully engage with all that you are. You are all that. You are that powerful. You are that fabulous. You are here on purpose. You are not a mistake. So that's what's coming through very strongly for a lot of you right now. Really important. Stop attaching so much significance to, well, what am I doing? No, you are a channel. You are a vibration. You are a gift.
You know, one of the things that we talk about so often and we don't talk enough about is doubt. And, doubt has so many different faces. Everybody's like 50 Shades of Gray. No, 50 Shades of Doubt. Because it shows up in the face of in the face in the mirror, but it also shows up in the face of others, and how often we attach ourselves to that. Have you ever told someone an idea, Leslie? Have you ever said to this is what I'm going to do, and this blank stare looks at you, and in that moment you fill in the blanks about what the blank stare means.
Right. You assume what the thoughts are. You assume it from your past. You assume it from your family, that you know what that look means. You know what they're thinking. And, we were talking during the break about sometimes we're so afraid of the empty space that we draw in the wrong energies just to fill it. So even though we've just left one abusive partner or a partner that didn't value us for all that we were, we can't wait very long, and we bring in the next one thinking it's different. But as I've shared many times, same energy, different outfit. If you didn't clear, if you didn't shift, you bring in the same thing again just to have companionship. We do that with our dreams. And so then we go, well, it didn't work. What didn't work? I want you again to get honest. What didn't work? You didn't trust yourself. You didn't believe in yourself. So what does that mean now? You're going to stop dead in your tracks? No. You and I are going to get together, and we're going to clear this stuff. We're going to be done with it. So are you done? Is it scary to step into a dream, Pat? I think it's scary to step into a dream. Is it scary to step into believing that you are that powerful? Yes, it is. It's a big responsibility. We may fall flat. Whatever. There's so much about this that's beyond just this normal realm of, cause-effect. And this is the result, and this is the output. You are shifting powerfully, and it may not be this time, it'll be the next time. How many experiments did Edison do on the light bulb? 5,000? Have you done that yet? No, I haven't either. So come on, let's not look at it in terms of everyone else's evaluation criteria. Let's just go, this is what I'm being guided to do, and if I fall flat 13 times, I'm getting up the 14th.
Well, it's really interesting about that because, we generate these conscious and unconscious markers about what success actually is. In many, many ways. And even when we think we've achieved success, sometimes, and this happens to a lot of people, we don't see it as being enough, right. Because that may be success at this moment, but it's not enough. Exactly. And, it is really kind of, there's a line from a movie that came out this year, and it won all sorts of awards. The actor did a sweep of all the awards, and it's the movie Whiplash. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene at the end of the movie where the guy says to this student, he said, there are the worst words the most harmful words that are ever said to anybody, the most seriously destructive words that people can say, one person can say to another, is good job. And I just thought, wow, no wonder why we never feel fulfilled. No wonder why we never. And you know how many people related to that scene?
Yeah, that's sad.
Isn't it sad?
That is very sad.
You know, it's achieving the unachievable, somebody else's standards for what it feels like. But, you know, let's ask ourselves this question, talk about it when we come back from break. How does source energy and spirit feel about this? You know, is source energy looking down on me and saying, oh, man, you know, you didn't really have a good job today. You had a mediocre job today, Pat, by the way. You know, maybe you when you woke up this morning, maybe you should have picked a different shirt. That shirt's okay, but not great enough, you know, or, oh, by the way, later on today, how are you going to do at that meeting or not do at that meeting? Is that the source energy I believe in? Gosh, I hope not. But some days I might. Let's talk about what we need to do to get some clearing done. As we've said before, phone lines are open, 1-800-930-2819. If you cannot get to us by the phone, go to the Dr. Pat Show, Transformation Talk Radio. Scroll all the way down about on the bottom, transformationtalkradio.com, and then punch your little question in there and we'll get it on air. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Sheer Alchemy, Leslie Fonteyne.
Dig.
The chills that you spill up my back leave me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I
A retreat to open your senses and heal your energy. Join Lynn Brown and Wendy Wolf for Amazing Astra Allies, April 30th through May 2nd in the beautiful Methau Valley. Open to more of your astral experiences. Learn intentional dreaming and receive astral body healings in this serene setting. This retreat is almost full. To register now or learn more, call 206-931-7356 today.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune in each Tuesday at noon Pacific and 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com for the Dr. Julie Show, All Things Connected with Dr. Julie Kroll, featuring weekly segments with David Eisen and the Chakra Sound System. Each week, you will journey through infinite possibilities, expand into social potential, and find beautiful beginnings where endings leave off. Changemakers from around the world will explore what's emergent about the environment, relationships, health, the arts, education, and the evolution of consciousness. Visit thedrjulieshow.com.
Do you feel stuck with fear and anxiety? Have you tried everything to get rid of these emotions, but nothing seemed to work? Hi, I'm Dr. Friedman Schaub. My Breakthrough and Empowerment program has helped thousands of people to overcome fear and anxiety and build a new foundation of confidence and inner peace. Join me for my next Breakthrough video seminar and learn how you can transform your life in less than 3 months. Visit thefearandanxietysolution.com.
Called the Oprah of radio by her listeners, award-winning host Dr. Pat Baccili is blowing the doors off of traditional talk radio. Get ready for an energizing delivery and powerful interviews with leaders in the field of human potential. Dr. Pat's fresh, new perspective on living life full out has catapulted her show to the top of talk radio. Tune in and Dr. Pat will help you thrive instead of merely survive. Visit thedrpatshow.com. That's THEDRPatshow.com for listening times in your area.
Welcome back, everyone. Sheer Alchemy, Leslie Fonteyne. Great to be talking with all of you. And Leslie, one more time, tell folks how they can find out more about you.
All right, definitely go to my website, lesliefontaine.com. That's LeslieFonteyne.com. I hear from so many of you, and I really appreciate it because mainly, you know, I do honor and respect that what we're talking about here cannot be handled in 5 minutes, but I think that you guys have sensed enough of the energy and the shift and the vibration already that, you know, there's more, and there is hope for you, and that's why you're calling. So definitely reach out, and I also will be traveling a ton of places coming up. I'll be going to Portland this weekend, and then to Cincinnati, and to London, and to Sydney, then to Melbourne, so lots of great stuff. Have some teleclasses. People are asking, how do they learn to protect their field? How do they learn to work with the ministering spirits and with the new vibrations? And that is what I'm teaching a lot of. So definitely check out my site, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have.
All right, Portland. So let's talk about, you know, this idea of what we started out talking about. You know, this idea of looking at ourselves and shifting from that I'm alone and I'm lonely, because that's where we go. I mean, you know, I love being alone. I'm such an introvert. I took that Myers-Briggs thing 4 times. They gave that to me 4 times because they thought nobody in my kind of position that I had at the time in corporate America, no one could ever score such a scale. I was in the some statistic, 0.0001% of introverts. I was so introverted. But there's such a misconception about that. When I leave here today, if I had my druthers, I would be taking myself to a place where there were no other people, and I would probably be sitting on my little phone watching a Netflix, probably House of Cards or something like that. But I'm not, because I have to live in the real world, Leslie.
I know. And, you know, but there's a part about the being alone that's really important. And I often talk to people about how long a moment can last. So if we think about how long a minute is, where you would focus all your intention, all your energy, all your, just your full energy into that moment, into what you want to create, you will find out how long a minute is. But that is the kind of focus that we're talking about. So in this empty place, when you are creating your grandeur, when you're creating your idea, there's a part of us, you know, and let's be honest, after 15 minutes, we need to get up and go get a cup of coffee. We need to get up and go eat something. We need to get up and go call a friend, something. We cannot stand that 15 minutes. Pay attention to that within yourself. Notice how long you can go with your creation process. What I have found is that the energy and the power of the idea that we're creating is almost overwhelming. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit, is we think there's something wrong with that kind of overwhelm, with that kind of intensity, with that kind of inspiration channeling through you. We want to pick up the phone or do something else to douse it, to just bring it down a notch. It's almost too much for us because we're not used to living with that kind of excitement. I want to tell you, that is an awesome thing. That's not something to be afraid of. Let yourself stay in that place while you're creating. You may think you're alone, but you're not really. The next thing, and this is something I can help you to do, is to invite in the Ascended Masters, the Archangels. There are many websites that will tell you who they are. You know, there's Master Jesus, there's Kutumi, there's Kuan Yin, there's Isis. There's all kinds of Ascended Masters out there, all with different jobs. Everybody continues to transition just as you might in an American corporation that you see from the shop floor on up to the chairman level. They're always changing their jobs, moving on. Saint Germain, many of you work with these. Saint Teresa. So bring them in. I want you to notice what happens to your vibration. I want you to really pay attention. Don't panic. Don't pick up the phone. Don't run out of the room. Just allow them to come in and to join you. They come upon invitation. You have to invite them. They're not like people who just barge your door down. They come in by invitation. Invite them in. Allow them to shift your energy in that moment. Sit with it. If you're not sure what's happening, notice that you're panicking. Notice the fear. Allow that and just go, I'm going to sit. I'm going to wait a little longer. You will notice the transformation. As you bring them in, you begin to feel a little less alone. So where do ideas and thoughts come from? You know, when people are thinking about creating something new, it comes to your mind, your brain, your thought, your heart. It comes to you. We immediately want to go tell someone else. And anyone who's ever written a book and anyone who's ever read books about writing books will tell you that once you go tell somebody about it, guess what you do? You quit writing, because you've gone and dissipated that energy to tell someone else. For the next week, I want you all to take this challenge on, to get back in touch with your inspired idea, to sit alone with it, to bring in the masters, and to allow yourself the 30 minutes. I'm asking for 30 minutes, okay? I'm not asking for 3 hours. 30 minutes. Allow yourself to sit with it, bring it in, and see what happens over the progression of a week. And then I hope you'll write me and let me know what happened.
Well, and you know what you're actually saying is amazing. The other thing, don't you think, though, once we start to tell somebody about our idea, before it's time to tell somebody about our idea, we open ourselves up for a wide range of other people's energies, whatever that is. You know, whether it's, oh, great, or, oh, why are you writing about that? Or, you know, we open ourselves up. How do we handle being in the world with other people's ideas about who we are coming at us?
Well, as you're shifting your vibration, you can also shift the agreements that you have with people. So a lot of us have people in our lives that we've agreed to be in contract with, who think that we are less than what we are, who put us down, who verbally abuse us. There's some psychic attack that happens with some of the negative words that are thrown at us. So this is a decision you have in that point, which is, do you want to be in agreement with that anymore? And that's a whole nother topic. So back to this whole thing about who you share with, it's a habit. So before you open your mouth, I like to say, do a pause. Do a pause and ask yourself, why am I going to this person to tell them about this? Is it habit? Is it because I want them to be what they're not? Is it that I want them to support me because they're my mother, therefore they should support me, but they don't because that's not how they are? So pay attention to the truth of it, and then think, who is it that I can share with? Who is it that I can draw into my field and attract into my field that will be supportive of all that I am?
You know, and taking a look back at what we've talked about today, and looking at sort of the energy you're sensing out there now, you know, what would be the personal message? What can we do to do a clearing for folks?
Well, what we can do right now is, a lot of you are so tight in your heart space, and what that often means, it's self-esteem issues. It's also loving the passionate one that you are, okay? So some of you have a lot of sadness right now about what you haven't done, what you haven't achieved. It's all about what you haven't been so far. And Pat alluded to that earlier, which was great. You know, here we are in the next decade. What have I done yet? You know, so let's take a look at that. Are you ready to release that and to turn over a new leaf? And now let's bring in the masters. Let's bring in the archangels. And just hand over your heart. I see some of you just handing it over, just handing over the old and drawing in the new and allowing it. You're letting go of a lot from your shoulders, a lot from the back of your neck, a lot about your expectations, about what you think the end results should be. And this is not about end results. This isn't about always knowing the full outcome. This is about stepping into all that you are and watching what Source does to support you. So a lot of you have done that. You've done a beautiful job in going into your solar plexus and releasing any interference that has to do with not standing in your power. That if you stand in your power, you'll be abandoned, you won't be loved, you'll make a mistake. And we're just clearing out your intuitive guidance, where you've short-circuited it and decided that you can't trust yourself. There you go. A lot of you are releasing in your heart space now. Beautiful. Just let go of what's surfacing that's kind of gooky, right? And let it go and say, okay, I'm willing to draw in the support. I'm willing to draw in the love, the unconditional love of Source. Draw in my new companions, my new partners, my new soulmates. Okay?
Awesome. Leslie, thank you so much for today. Please give out your information one more time and tell folks a little bit more about the Portland event.
All right. You can go to my website, lesliefonteyne.com, LeslieFonteyne.com. I'll be in Portland for 2 days at the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo down at the Lloyd's Convention Center downtown. I'm doing sessions afterwards as well, so absolutely do come join us if you're in the Portland area.
Well, thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on, and stay tuned for an hour with Mary Jane Mack.